My name's Kathleen Tacelosky. I go by Tac, which is the first three letters of my last name. It's a family nickname. You've seen me here at Oyster Mill in two other shows. The first one that I did was called Move Over Mrs. Markham, and I was Linda. And then I was in How the Other Half Loves. And so this is my third show here. I live in Annville. I've lived there for 5 years. Before moving to Annville, I lived in Mexico. And before that, I lived in Missouri for 10 years.
My name is Greg Merkel. I've been with Oyster Mill Playhouse for many years. I've been part of the treasurer for the organization for the last 8 years or so. I got to work with TAC on Move Over Mrs. Markham. I've done the directing of some of the farces that have been performed here recently at Oyster Mill, and also had the opportunity to do other plays like Elwood Out in Harvey here, and have been involved in Seussical and musical. I get the opportunity in this show to work with my daughter, and we've done some acting. The whole family has at various times together, so it's always fun to do that.
All right, excellent. So tell me a little bit about your characters, as much as you can.
Okay. My character is somewhat a nice, friendly sort of person, but a little distracted from time to time. Doesn't seem to always be there, but in general is kind of a happy sort of person that things just seem to happen during the play. I'm a writer that writes mysteries.
Julia is married to the writer who writes mysteries, and she is a warm and fun person to be around, but she is very preoccupied with the aging process. And she's concerned about aging and wants to maintain her youthful looks and vigor.
Okay. Tell me something nobody knows about you.
I have moved more than 30 times in my short life so far.
My background is actually as applied mathematics in engineering, and I worked on the space shuttle program for the first launches of the space shuttle.
Excellent. Okay. Now we're just real quick going to do a little something that I ripped off some people on Cooking Channel that I love. Tell me something that you like, something that you loathe, and something that you've recently learned that you think is neat and want to share. So let's start with something that you like. Just anything.
Candy. I like sweet.
Anything in particular?
I have a sweet tusk. I don't have a sweet tooth, just one giant tusk.
I like so many things. I like singing in the car when I'm by myself at full volume.
Okay. What's something that you loathe?
Narrow-mindedness.
Why? Oh, heat and humidity. I loathe that. Do you want to?
Just to equal that, I will say that I also hate the cold.
All right.
Together we'll have nice temperature.
All right, and what's something you've recently learned?
I recently learned to read and write the Cyrillic alphabet in preparation for a trip I took to Russia this past summer.
It's no small feat.
It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. There was a YouTube video that was about 2 hours long, and I watched it for 15 minutes a day until I felt I more or less had it, and then when I got there, I didn't feel illiterate.
I don't know if I've learned anything yet, but I'm in the process of learning as my children are starting to go through the college years and out into the world. So the empty nesting syndrome is starting to be something I'm learning. I wouldn't say I've learned it yet.
Okay. How do you feel about working with your fellow cast?
Great.
We're having so much fun.
It's a wonderful cast. It's a great cast. People
Okay.
are.
There's a lot of trust. I think we've gotten to that point where we feel like if anything goes wrong out there or the slightest little thing, we've got each other. That's a great feeling.
And the talent of the different people, the ability to build their character, be somebody you can interact against and with. It's a wonderful cast. It's very talented, and what they're capable of doing makes me in awe of them. And sometimes I go, I've got to work harder.
Okay. Any anecdotes or fun stories you'd like to share with us about working with this cast so far? Anything particularly embarrassing, especially about Jack?
Well,
We have a few things, but I think that we don't want to give too much away. As you said at the beginning of this interview, when you start talking
No.
during a mystery, come and see it. You'll find out.
Yeah.
Very cool thing.
Okay. Well, then we'll wrap it up here, as Carol was giving me the dirty eye there a minute ago. Why should the good people of Central PA come see an act of the imagination at Oyster Mill Playhouse?
I think it's a great value for the money. Not very expensive, but you have an excellent talent in the Harrisburg area as a whole. Oyster Mill just being one of a number of community theaters, and the talent that we have throughout this community is amazing. So if someone wants to see live performances where you never know what can happen on any given night versus a movie that is always going to be exactly the same, the live theater and the talent that's in the area, it's well worth it.
This is a great show. A neighbor of mine said to me the other day, we're not sure what night we're coming. We don't want to come on a Friday night because we'll be tired from work. I said, you can come to this show on a Friday night. You are not going to sleep through it. There are very interesting things that happen during the show that will keep people on their toes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.